In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to change the front brakes on a Kia Forte, and most other cars are basically exactly the same as this. And this isn't going to be a mechanic video, it's all prim and proper. This is my car, the brakes are out, it's metal on metal, and I don't have the $400 or $500 to go to a dealership and get this done. Most dealers charge about $400 for this, and then they're going to try to get you to change out the front rotors, and that's going to push it to $500 or more, and we're going to do this entire job for $27. The few tools you'll need are inexpensive, and I'll put links in the description for Amazon, and you can also pick these up at Harbor Freight. And I would normally use an impact or a floor jack for this, but I'm gonna just use the most basic tools to prove just how easy this job is. So if you've never even removed a tire or you don't know how to jack up a car, I'm gonna teach you how to do that. We're gonna go step by step and make this super easy. All right, so my car didn't come with a spare tire, it didn't come with a jack or lug wrench or none of that. So I bought that on Amazon, and I bought me a spare tire that I keep back there. So I don't know if you're gonna have that or not. If not, so these lug nuts are 21 millimeters. So you'll have to get that too, and I'll put all that in the description. So let's get the jack out, and we're gonna jack it up on a pinch weld. And the pinch weld is this. It's this right here. And then where the jack goes, you're gonna see these two little indentions. That's where we're gonna put the jack and jack it up. All right, so before we jack it up, we wanna loosen up all the lug nuts, maybe like a quarter turn. And the reason for that is you don't wanna have your car jacked up in the air and then you're trying to remove lug nuts and you're shaking it and you knock it off the jack. Sometimes you gotta step on this and you rocking the car back and forth, and you can knock it off. I'm only going about a quarter turn. And this is the typical jack. This comes with most cars. And I got this little kit on Amazon since my car didn't come with one. Slide this under. You find the pinch weld. All right, we got the car jacked up, and you just bring it up just enough to get the tire off. Now we can finish getting this. All right, got the tire off, and I slid the tire under the car. That way if the jack fails, it'll fall on the tire and then that won't fall and hit me. But you're gonna wanna use jack stands like this, but most of you probably don't have jack stands, so I'm gonna show you the easier way to do it. Just slide your tire right there. So next, we're gonna take these two bolts out. All right, these bolts are 14 millimeter. I'll remove these two. And if you're not changing the rotors, this is the only two bolts you got to remove. If you're doing the rotors, then you got to do these two bolts back here. And I always keep these kind of in order so I know that one goes back in the top and that in the bottom. Because usually when stuff's torqued real hard, you want the threads to match back up where they went. And see how this removes right out? And if you can't tell, I turn the wheel to the side. That way it turns this out and you can actually get to these bolts. Because if the tire was straight, you'd be working kind of way up in here. So you just turn it, and then that kind of gets this where you can reach it. Oh, and this is a better angle of the pinch weld. See, is that metal sticking down where they weld the car together? And that's where it's made that you jack it up at. Since we got these 2 bolts out, this just slides right off. And you don't want this to hang because it'll put too much pressure on this rubber hose. We'll set it up here for now. And then I always kind of look, you might want to take pictures because you have 2 metal wires. So you don't want to forget that. I might have to get a flathead screwdriver. We're just going to pry these out. Yeah, they didn't have any pad left. Yeah, this one's bad too. Very bad. And you always want to check the wear. Make sure it's not thick on this side, thin over here. One side's good, one side's bad. So you just want to inspect it. If you do, then you know you got probably a rotor issue too, or something's wrong. And then you always want to inspect your rotor, make sure there's no cracking, make sure there's no deep groove. If you have damage, you're going to have to change your rotor because it's just going to eat up your new pads. But my rotor is good, so I'm going to go with it. So this is the brake pads I bought. Got these at O'Reilly's, but I'll link some on Amazon. This was the cheapest they had too. They had some up to $80 for pads, and these were 23 or 27, I don't remember, but they were cheap. But look at the difference in the pad thickness. And because the caliper has pushed out so far, so now we got to bring the caliper back in. This is the hardest part of the whole job. See, this is your piston. We got to push this all the way back in. And I always just use a C-clamp. And they make proper tools for this too. So you can find that and use that if you want. And just go slow. Let the piston slowly move back in. And this C-clamp is probably $5 at Harbor Freight. And that's it. There's really 2 tools for the whole job. And you don't even have to have a ratchet and socket. You could use a wrench, 14mm wrench, and then a C-clamp. We're going to keep that up there. And see these tabs? That's what, if your pads go all the way down, this is what hits the rotors and makes that loud squealing noise to let you know you need to change them. And then pick the curvature of the rotor, and this is curved that way. And that's how they go back in. Alright, got them in. It was a little tricky. Had to get the bottom in first, and then you just you got to push pretty hard. And then on the other side it was the opposite. It's a little tab. And you can't put these in backwards, and always just double check if the curvature is right, everything's good. And my kit, it didn't come with the new, whatever these are, little springs. So we got to reuse the old ones. Seemed like all the other kits I've ever bought came with all this new stuff. Unless I missed it, let me look again. And when you buy a kit, it comes with both left and right. And they're all the same, so you're not gonna mix up left and right. And it recommends putting some grease right there, but we're not doing any of that. Get my top bolt. Yeah, so if you can put together IKEA furniture, you could do this kind of stuff. And this saves so much money. I couldn't imagine paying 400 bucks for this. And that's it. We'll put the tire back on. And before you drive it, you're gonna need to pump your brakes a good bit, because you done pushed all the fluid back. And you need to get your piston back set to these pads. Let's turn the wheel back straight. Way to help us get the tire back on. I got all the lug nuts on. We're just gonna get them kind of hand tight. And you go in kind of a crisscross star pattern, and you just want to kind of get all these, after you get them finger tight, just kind of go around, maybe put a quarter turn on it. But I had to go adjust this jack. Don't buy this on Amazon. This might be the worst purchase I ever made. Look how bad it's leaning. This looks like a one-time deal. So I'm gonna have to throw that away. So now we can lower it back down and then tighten them up. If you tighten this one, you don't want to go in a circle, so just go kind of opposite. And that's it. So it's really that easy. It didn't really take no time. It took a little longer since I did it on camera, but it was 3 tools, 14mm, C-clamp, and a flathead screwdriver, and you could do this job, saving yourself 400 bucks. So I'm gonna do the other side off camera because it's just like the side we just did. There's no use in making the video even longer. And if you like the video and if you think it helped you out, give you the courage to do this job, leave me a comment below. Love to read those. And I will see you next time.